Tuambie dawa imekuja kesho ati mupone. Mimi napotea. Mimi siwezi taka kupona. This thing is feeding me, bwana. It's feeding me. I'm HIV positive and how I got it was through birth. Kitambo, honge imagine mtoto wako positive because HIV ilikuwa ya watu promiscuous huko, watu, sherehe, watu wanagawa kugawa huko nje.
Karibu sana kwenye Steamy Updates. Mwirore, if you are there, this is Betty Nyaga, and as I told you, I'll be bringing you guests who will be there to always encourage you. And definitely today I have a guest. You can just have a look at him, and I think he's a phenomenal man, and he will be there to encourage you because he has tackled a lot. And I think he's one person who doesn't give, let me call it, a damn. So I think he will introduce himself. And first is to thank you because of tuning in every time I post my videos, and even this time, and I'm telling you, continue supporting this girl so that you can grow together, and I know we'll go miles. So karibu sana my guests.
Thank you so much. So kwa majina ni Karuga Kamau. Yes, and I'm here to share my story. We are here at least mwenye ana feel down, man. Kesho yake akue more psyched up, naona there's a future after I share my story. Karibuni.
So asante, and feel most welcome. Feel at home, far away from home. Here at Steamy Updates, we are people who usually listen everything and listen to everyone because, upon listening to somebody somewhere might get encouraged, might feel like, anapendwa, appreciated. And so I think there is this story I've been seeing popping online, and it's all about HIV and AIDS awareness. And you're one guru, I can say, Jama, umesimama, like, you encourage me a lot.
So, welcome. So, umesikia majina yangu ni Karuga Kamau. Na even before I go on, mi hufanya kazi na government parastatal inaitwa National Syndemic Disease Control Council. Ama formerly ilikuwa National AIDS Control Council. Okay. So, mi nadili na mambo ya ukimwi. Light Left Center ni ukimwi. Nachikisha watu naambia ndio inanilisha, inanibaia nguo, napeleka sijui niseme manzi yangu ama beshte zangu.
Una manzi?
Wote. Napeleka out na pesa ya ukimwi, as in it's something good. So even before you go on, I think it's just right for people to understand the difference between HIV and AIDS. So HIV is a virus. As the name says, human immunodeficiency virus. So there's a virus that attacks a human being and causes the deficiency of immune. So inamaliza immune ya human beings. And then after that process, now we flip over to AIDS, that is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. So these are syndromes that we resort to lack of immune in the body. Okay. So basically what that means, the moment you have the HIV virus in your body, it attacks the white blood cells, as you know, are responsible for defense of the whole body. Yeah. So, ikitu ni janja, by the way. Acha niambia tu ukweli. Virus ni kitu janja sana. It happens, ikiingia kwa mwili, it knows itakuwa attacked by the white blood cells, which again, ndio tunasemanga ni askari wa mwili. Yeah. So, ndio ili siku attacked, inafanya kitu inaitwa mutation. It mutates and looks like kama white blood cells, and then the cell will think this is my friend. Itakuja tu be friend, itaipita tu ama they will move around, but eventually the HIV virus will itaingia ndani hiyo white blood cells, starts feeding from inside. Okay. As it multiplies again from inside. Then zikifika mingi, they cannot be accommodated, they burst out. Okay. So when they burst out, they go and attack other white blood cells. Do the same process. Yeah. So eventually, you realize after you've infected today, the process begins, and then now you are able they are able to multiply within a span of 3 weeks, 3 months, years and years, and then ikifika to a point there are no more white blood cells. Now AIDS start kicking in. You find there what we call opportunistic infections, or rather the acquired immune syndromes. Kama TB, pata kuna hepatitis, kuna funny diseases. Hata unaweza pata unamalizwa na homa ama hata pneumonia inisha kumaliza because you have no defense to boost your body.
Okay, and I've had people complaining maybe of the sore throat.
Yes, unapata hadi wazitanga kihuti.
Parcel.
Unapata mdomo inaanza kuraruka ulimi. But luckily I've never been to that point.
Wow.
But there's, mimi nimeenda shule nimesoma HIV and AIDS management and community based, so at least I understand what's in me. So I'm positive. I'm HIV positive, and how I got it was through birth. I was born back in 1996 hapo. So hakukuwa na advanced treatment. So my parents walikuwa positive. So during birth, unluckily, unfortunately, I turned positive. But funny enough, we are 4 of us, but the 3 are negative. I'm the only one who's positive. Usiulize kulienda aje, mimi hata sijuangi ni mambo ya Mungu ama nini. I don't know who to blame. I have no one to blame, but nasemanga it's a blessing, and I'll tell you why. So I was born positive, but in between those years nikiwa katoto, nilikuwa nagonjeka so often. So my sister would wonder, huyu mtoto mbona anagonjeka hivi? Funny enough, okay, let me not say funny enough, but unfortunately mapero wangu walipass nikiwa at a very young age. So hata sina memory zao. So like I've been brought up by my siblings, more so my sister. So ndo alikuwa anakimbia na mimi hapa nikigonjeka. Mimi ni last born. Mimi ni wale tunasemanga atushauti yangu hii. Sisi tunapewa chakula ya ile top layer, kanyama hivi. So sistangu ndo alikuwa anakimbia na mimi nikigonjeka, nikikohoa, akohosi, hatupati ugonjwa. So tukaenda kwa dispensary moja ilikuwa hapa home, and the doctor suggested, why don't you guys do a HIV test? Cause kitambo honge imagine mtoto wako positive, because HIV ilikuwa ya watu promiscuous huko, watu sherehe, watu wanagawa kugawa huko nje. But mtoi ilikuwa was not a thought. But we decided mimi ndo huo nikapimwa kakitu kakasoma line 2 chua. So for me wasn't a shock.
How old were you when you realized that you were HIV positive?
Okay.
Can you remember?
There are two instances. Like there's one we did the test but didn't kick in because I was still young. But I knew, hii test imetoka positive na inaitwa HIV, but I couldn't tell what that is. And then there's this other instance where now I was, I was an adolescent, and now I'm starting to become more cognizant of things around me. That's when it kicked in very deep. And as I tell people, that was the heaviest part. Because huko nikiwa watoto, sikuwa na feel your burden. The person who was suffering by me being positive was my siblings. Kwa sasa neighbors, stigma, neighbors walikuwa nasema, ule kijana ako na ukimwi, nikikuta nasema ni mkingo, kora mkingo. So I would find most of my friends, not being around me. So but I couldn't understand. Nakumbuka kuna time nishaichongoa mtoto wenyewe. Wewe nyanyako alipotea kivuata roli za road show. Tu akacheka. And then bazo mzee alikutana comeback. Singepona. Wewe unaongea uko na mkingo. Au like wewe. Hiki kitu nimesikia ikichongolewa huku nje. Sisi hata mpea comeback. Nilienda kuuliza sistangu, nimeambiwa niko na mkingo na shingo yangu ni kidogo. Like nikiambiwa niko na mkingo niko napima shingo yangu. Naona iko normal. What is happening? Kwani why are you not putting me in highlight? So those are the questions I used to tukikaa hivi na pop hivyo. Hapana. Yes, I was on ARVs, but mimi niko naambiwa ni dawa za kifua, because kushinda kuelezea mtoto sijui, that was too much for me to take in. So nikaambiwa tu ni za kifua, but I would ask, mbona haziishi, mbona siponi kifua na sikohoi? That was so weird questioning. So grow, but the beauty of it is that my siblings maintained, made sure I had that accommodating environment. Hata kama nilikuwa subjected to stigma, they would come and wash it off. But now the challenge came in when I was transitioning from a child to an adolescent, and from adolescent to a young person. So I realized these things have been reading them for book. I could see how teachers could put it in black and white that HIV is a killer disease. The books were all scary, like how thin people go, how they will die a very, a very funny death. So I felt nikaanza kuwa scared pole. Nikasema anyway, But now the worst part ama the most hard part ni ile time niliingia high school. High school is ever the hardest stage any young person living with HIV will ever go through, because huku watu ni wajanja, huku watu hawaambiangwi, ni every man for himself. Hii ndio stage unataka ka girlfriend, ndio unataka kufit in kwa society, you're looking for your identity, and you're HIV positive. That's a limit. As in, but then that was a limit for me, but the moment you accept yourself, everything changes.
Let me cut you short. How was the reception then?
In high school?
Yeah. In high
Okay,
school.
Okay, let me say the fact that kutoka class 7 hadi class 8 nilienda boarding kinda built a small immune for me, because I knew dawa nitapea kwa matron. So after kuenda high school nilienda nikapea matron aniekee dawa. But you see, that is reporting. Ile siku narudi shule sasa, there are what we call checks, zile gate checks. So you open your bag, all your things are well laid out, hadi dawa nazishika chikishika zinalialia, and then you feel damn, mwalimu cheza chini, watu watajua hizi ni nini. And then anafungua, anasema hizi tembe ni kubwa bwana, kwani ni za ng'ombe? You know, that is,
It's painful.
yeah, it's very painful, but you have no option. You're still a minor. Huyu ni mwalimu, uweze mtusi, uweze mpiga. Just have to be humble. Let the other people watch you. Students wanaangalia vile dawa zako zinakuwa scrutinized, but there's nothing you can do. But deep down you'd feel uncomfortable. Hata maybe in the next 2-3 days haungelikava.
Yeah.
It will take time for you to heal what are they thinking? Waliona hizo dawa, what are they thinking about those drugs? Unaona? So you'd have questions swimming in your mind, up and down. Unaona? So in fact I remember it was a very serious case. Juu nakumbuka nikiwa dormitory. Nikiamka kunywa dawa, my cube mate would circle around me and ask me, hizi dawa zako kwani ni kubwa aje? Kwani ni za ugonjwa gani? Naambia za kifua. And then sasa watoto wa Nairobi ni kama wanajua dawa zote. Hapana, dawa za kifua ziko ni kubwa hivi. Kaambia hapana, ni za macho, because I used to do glasses. Kaambia mwingine tu ana pop. My fellow machoini ana pop up kwa nje. Sema hapana, wewe mimi nimegonjeka macho sana na sijai kunywa dawa, ni ile eye drops. So wewe tuambie ni za nini? So I felt it being so challenging and I couldn't even bear. So I threw away my meds for like 1 year. Yeah. Now, how I survived, it's God who knows. But again, HIV is asymptomatic. Like I told you, it takes time to kill there. So, as I was having that drug holiday for 1 month, now the HIV was killing my immune pole. I realized after I did my viral load copy, your viral load ile unaenda kuangalia the number of virus in your bloodstream. So unaona kwa damu unatoleanga kasi ni ml ngapi. So zilikuja 90k copies. 90k.
90,000.
And
What does that mean?
And in your body you have 5 liters of blood, so you can imagine times all that. That means hizo ndizo the number of virus zenye zime multiply kwa viral load is the virus and load, that is the number of viral load in your body. So anaangalianga through those blood tests. So machine it's able to calculate them. Unaona, you have 90k. So ukiwa na 90k you're performing poorly. In fact, in the next few months you might end up to the grave. Unaona? So that's the deep understanding, ama the right understanding of it. So this is too much, because hata nilikuwa nimeanza kukohoa zile
like the opportunity
ya kicking in, unakohoa unapata hizo bruises kwa mdomo, once inapotea, ingine na pop up side ingine, and then they are starting to kick in now. The OIs, opportunity infections. So I had to sit down and made my decision. Sasa hizi ugonjwa funny zimeanza kuniattack. So meaning the next 3 months I'll be having a very serious disease kama TB, which 6 months on meds. Alafu dawa pia ni mzito, si rahisi kumeza dawa za TB for 6 months. Uko na ARVs, it's a load of pills. Uko na chemist kwa mwili, unaona? So I had to make that decision. Kamua sawa, how do I retrench back my life? And one of the deliberation I made was to relocate from my boarding school to a day school. At least I could access my mates from home, then go back to school.
And also unnoticeable.
Yes. But funny enough, nilikuja 2 day school, liko hapa home. So everybody knows me. You know, the guy from a very provincial school, amekuja to a day school, na akona ukimwi. So
bado wanajua.
Si those are my neighbors wanasomea hapo day school. So I remember one funny instance that brought my HIV case into public kwa hiyo shule was nilikuwa nakatia kadem huko. Keupe, mali safi, unaona? You know, like ni wale mademu nasikianga I wanna have, you know, kwenye ndio mlembo, ni mrembo shule mzima, unaona? So me I made the move. Actually dema kwa vibe yangu mbaya sana. But wale wanaume nimeosha. Siko najua line tuko wengi. Sasa mimi nimekuja, nimesha bypass watu. Imbogi yote inasikia wivu bana. So mmoja akatoa ile red card. Shwa. Kama kijana akona ukimwi bana atakuua. Ushaandikiwa composition. Ati ni break up text lakini inakaa conversation. Inakaa composition. Where I felt, why? This is it. This is how I'm gonna have, this is how I'm going to live for the rest of my life, you know.
Like a hell of a life.
Being you, as in hata huwezi pata girlfriend. But anyway, who am I? Said it's okay. Sure, not for me. Maybe I'll find another one. Tukamaliza form 4 and then nikaenda college. Although I didn't perform good, by the way. Mimi nilipata D+ na sifichangi watu. Nilipata D+, nikaenda nikapata D+, nikaenda kwa mzae ule mwenye sawa baba mlezi. Kaniambia, ni sawa ushapata D+. Tutaenda shule tu. But behind the scenes watu walikuwa wananiuliza, wewe jamaa uko na D+ na uko na ukimwi, unataka kwenda wapi? You have no future bana. But you know my dad used to tell me, usijali, there's always other options. So went back, nikaanza SAT, deep. In fact, in community health. Then I did diploma in HIV and AIDS management, which I didn't finish. Sikumaliza.
Why?
The story behind is very funny. It's a very funny one. So since I knew one day nimekuwa na spark, I'll go public. This stigma is too much. There need to be somebody who's going to
stand out.
Defend the others youngsters who are coming. So I always had that spark. And for me to facilitate myself kwenda public, I had to do a course that relates with that. You know, HIV, home-based care, community health. So that is what I was doing. I remember that nikiwa attachment yangu at a very good hospital huko Nairobi. I wrote on my Facebook wall, I'm HIV positive. This has been a life. These are the challenges. These are benefits. Do not judge people. And I left for tea break. Coming back, you know, found 2,000 likes and 2,000 comments. Like, damn. I thought hii tu ingeenda. Nikapata hadi kulikuwa. Nipata hadi Kilimani Moms, you know. Aish, your time Kilimani ilikuwa na wika. Kapata Allah. Then I deleted it, funny enough. I deleted that post. I said, okay.
So you dropped the tip of the iceberg to ensure that you
imefuta. But people have already seen it. So I said, okay, Facebook is not enough. I need to go back to the ground. And I remember I called wanaitangwa the Casco County AIDS and STIs coordinating office. I called him, nikamwambia, you know what, I'm HIV positive and this is what we want to do. Or rather, this is what I would want to do for my community. So funny enough, nikiwa tu attachment, nikapata email. There's this job proposition and you've been picked. You know, in 2 facilities. You wanna work
on exactly what matters?
HIV. You know, because that time, it's when now we had, you know, a rise in HIV cases amongst the young people. So they needed people who are HIV positive and who would advocate for HIV prevention among the negative young people and the positive young people. And here I am. I've gone public. I'm very eloquent on this conversation. And he has a position for me. Mimi ni nani?
Blessing in disguise.
Vitabu kando. Kazi. And that's why I'm here. Kutoka hapo, he hates me. Mi shule napigiangwa tu na lecturer. Wow, unajua is a bit project. Na mimi nakuja usijali, hata nakuja kuenroll course nyingine. Because now again, sasa ukiguza pesa, opportunities are opening for me day in day out. Because I remember I started my advocacy work, nikaanza kutengeneza programs za reach out to young people. I started a pad drive campaign where I would give pads, to the vulnerable girls and preach the messages on HIV prevention. Because when you bring a young girl, chances are a young man will follow. And that's how it has been working. So we would attract the young girls with the pads, and then the young girls would attract the young boys. And then we would have, this conversation with the both genders of the young people. And through that, we were able to open a CBO called Vijana Tubonge. So that is a platform where I used to advocate. We have WhatsApp and Facebook groups where we share those messages. So during that process, I was voted again in 2021 as the best HIV advocate nationwide. So the next voting happens this year on August. So I'm just hoping I'll be among those. But in between, a lot has happened. The county has had me as the official youth advocate on issues health. So you can never pass any bill on young people without consulting me. Also, I was able to sit at the National Council for the Young People under the NSDCC, as I said, where I work from. And I've written so many good documents. Like I've written the county AIDS implementing plan for Kirinyaga County for the next 5 years. As one of the co-drafters on issues youth and budgeting.
Okay, just right back now for job. Umepata hii job, ukapata nyingine. So let's say HIV was like a blessing in disguise in your life.
In fact, nachekeshanga my young people huko. Dawa, atituambia dawa imekuja kesho ati mupone. Mimi napotea. Mimi siwezi taka kupona. This thing is feeding me, bwana.
You're crazy, bwana.
It's feeding me. Tell me, as in, I've traveled. Sijuzi nimekwambia nimetoka Nidi Kibwezi. Manze I'm traveling ndio ukimwi. Google map yangu ina update places cause you need ukimwi nakwambia uende uongelesha watu. In fact, I tell people squeezy HIV has changed. There's a picture of me I posted. By the way, I look shaggy. Nikiamua kuchapa luku. Badilika. So I posted a good picture hapa sema bali safi lakini I mean that's a reality. People are here. Uwezi jua mtu status yake iko aje. But they look very healthy. But haujui kama amesuppress. But then there's what we call if I told you I can have raw sex and not infect person. Yes. There's something we're calling US equals to U where undetectable equals untransmittable. So undetectable is like for me, I'm on treatment. And if you're on treatment for the longest time possible, those meds are very strong. They suppress the virus to a point. If I go for that test and nilikwambia nilipima ikakuja 90k. So nikikunywa dawa vizuri and I go for that test inatoanga 0.
So inatoa negative.
Inatoa 0, not negative. 0 copies. Meaning you have HIV but it is undetectable. Haionekani. And you can't contract it. There are machines just like the cars. Kuna gari inaendanga 240, kuna gari inaenda 180. So also in HIV viral testing, there are machines which can detect copies above 50. There are others that can detect copies above 400. So ukipimwa, the modern we have inapima copies above 50 copies. So if your copies are 29, haitaona, itasoma 0. That is what we're calling undetectable. So in that state, you cannot transmit. If you have raw sex, umwage hata glass mzima ya njoti, uwezi infect. Uwezi infect. That's the beauty of it.
Okay, let me just ask you, kona mundu?
Mimi?
Do you have a girlfriend?
Iswali sitakai kujibu. Because inbox inawaka moto. Mimi nasemanga niko in an open relationship. You come with try. If you are compatible and good. If you are not, you just know you're not the lucky one.
You don't have that specific one.
Niko na yeye lakini sitawahi. Wewe jioni kuna mtu. Anaweza repressiwa by the way. No, by the way, I am engaged on a serious note and she's negative by the way. It's negative. And we are very fine. We are very tight kaa kifuniko ya gas.
Let me ask you just on that. Because you've just said, unajua umekiri na ukasema, how did she accept you maybe the same? She had to undergo counseling. Ama ilikuwa vipi?
Let me tell you, it is never easy for everyone who has no information. So we call it the fear of the unknown. So obvious, other before time niende public, I knew me going public, I need to have my people aware. And this includes my girlfriend and my family members. So my girl ambia, hey babe, unajua aje niko na ukimwi? Like, you're joking. Kambia, niko nao. We went deep for a test. Kashtuka. Akapanic hata yeye anaweza kuwa nao. Akafanya but unajua mimi nilikuwa najua siwezi infect but sikuwa na hiyo nguvu ya kumwambia. So she did. Ikatoka negative and she was like, how did this happen? Nikamuelezea, nikamwambia if you fear there are preventive medicine we call PrEP and PEP where kama kuna PrEP if you're sure you're dating someone who's HIV positive. Pre-exposure prophylaxis. That is PrEP, pre-exposure prophylaxis. These are meds if you're dating someone who's HIV positive and you're not comfortable kama ako safe ama yuko safe or rather amesuppress ama suppress, you enroll to that medication kamoja kila siku so long as you guys are together. But before you have your sexual intercourse lazima ukunywe 7 days ndio ili ijenge immune kwa mwili, have sex and then continue with the meds as long as you are dating this person or you are at risk of HIV exposure. But in most cases tunapeanga the female sex workers juu mtu ako constant analala na different clients. So hiyo ni constant use of hiyo risk of HIV exposure. So hao ndio the biggest consumers wa ARVs. But if you're in a relationship but you're not comfortable, you can also enroll to them. Then we have the PEP. That is the post-exposure prophylaxis. In this case we have if you're raped na hujui status za huyu mtu, hizo ndizo dawa we enroll to rape victims. Anakunywa for 28 days and then they are good. But pia kuna wale hawezi kunywa PrEP for their lifetime. So kijua tu ni one time. Ni kale ka one night stand. Na msha agree. They are what we call event driven PrEP. Hizo unakunywa mbili. Like 2 hours or 24 hours before we have sex. 2 hours or 24 hours before we have sex.
It help after?
No. After you switch to PEP. Inaitwa event driven PrEP. So nakunywa 2 hours before intercourse and then after intercourse the next day you swallow one and the other day one and then you're clean. And that one now it's and that is for men now. Sasa unfortunately ladies that one cannot work for you. But we have what we call the D-ring, the Prevarin ring, where the Prevarin ring. That is a ring you insert in your vagina for a month. Hiyo ni PrEP in itself, but not in form of a ring. So you're ever protected. Baada ya kumeza hizo dawa kila siku, ina lock pale kwa cervix. Ina lock hapo. So you're ever protected. Ukilala na nani, akiwa na nini gani, you cannot get infected.
People are becoming sick maybe
without due to lack of knowledge. But again, PrEP does not prevent you from STIs, does not prevent you from pregnancy. If you want to prevent yourself from STIs and pregnancy, we have condom, which is a dual protector. Any information?
Hiyo ni info by the muhimu sana. So if maybe there are people you can give a shout out, those who have helped you maybe in the journey. I don't know.
There are a lot. So let me skip to you who is feeling ojikubali. I understand it is very normal. It is very normal to question yourself. But again, you really have to sit down with unajita kama mkutano. Kusema like what I did, I asked myself, if I don't accept this situation, who am I hurting? It's me. Nikataka kunywa dawa, ni mwili yangu. People will speak, you will die, you leave them there speaking. Say, hata sio hata alikufa juu ukimwi. So you even proving them wrong, right. That you died of HIV that they were saying. So it's upon you, jipende, jikubali, go back to the medication and manze you'll go back to who you are. Hata mtu wezi sema manze. So just love yourself. No, it's your journey, it's you alone. If people don't love you, okay, well and okay, wezi force mtu akupende. You know, you take your meds and make sure you have what we call support group. Your support group ni kitu ya maana sana. You go and sit down with people of your same status, you share out issues. Unaona? So make sure you look for a support group in your facility na ujipende manze. Jipende, jikubali na tuishi mbali. You know,
your social media handles maybe, you share and also your number, so that anyone who want to reach you, maybe for encouragement, maybe for further information, to call you for interviews, maybe so that they can educate maybe the youth, the old, everybody. I think it's good that you share them out.
Good. So my social medias are, you know, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Jina ni Karoga Kamau. Na nakuwa nimeka karibu on ka HIV. You'll find bio itakwambia HIV advocate. That is me. That is my handles. Number ni 07 083 43082. And my shout out. Kuna daktari tu mmoja. Huyu amekuwa role model wangu. I know Dr. Diana. She works at USAID. She has really held my hand. She has really trained me on advocacy, on, you know, easy HIV treatment. Ni mtu yani amenieka in a better spot than I was when we first met. So that is she remains to be my biggest, my role model. Yes.
As you wind up, I think I saw you tag Cleopatra. I saw the likes of Kina Githaiga. What's your relationship, by the way? It's good that you mentioned. Yeah, because it's people who have come out, even Mora. There is this lady.
Yes, Doreen.
Nampenda sana pia. The way she comes out openly, Cleopatra. Githaiga pale tunafuata hadi TikTok. By the way, uko na TikTok account?
Karoga Kamau.
Okay. You failed to mention that.
So
ni mabeshte zako ama?
So akina, yes, you know, we as HIV advocates and activists are one network where we, you know, uja kama Nyawakurina ujuana kwa vilemba, pia si tunajuana juu ya kirusi. So akina Githaiga, Cleopatra, you know, Doreen, those are close friends. We meet, we hang, you know, we share issues. If there's an issue we need to address pale social media, tuna tweet, you know, tuna demo. Although najua kuna demo moja nilimisa ikaleta kwa ubaya hivi, but I was waiting for that car award na si ningetaka kuchoma picha, unaona. So that's they are very good friends. By the way, let me tell you, even the king anachokanga, or rather even the brave lose hope at points. Yes. So hata mimi, as much as you see me being so outspoken, there are times loneliness kicks in, challenges kicks in, so you find those are the friends we share with. Kina Obi, you know, like I'll text Obi, hey, niaje bro, na feel hivi, you know, kina Samuel, kina Cleo, and Doreen. Now those are my support system, and you know, anytime you feel down, anytime umechoka na hizi dawa. But then si uchoka na hizi dawa bebe. Kila siku, it's not an easy task.
How many by then tabs do you take?
It's one. Si uchoka by the way. So ukichoka, you those are the support system now I'm saying. Make sure you're in that support group. Tenda mbali.
Wow, I think it's good that you've educated us. I think ameshare knowledge ama wisdom ambayo wase wengi hawajui ama watu wengi hawajui, and I think I want to big you a big shout out for coming out clean, for encouraging people, making it look like just a walk in the park. Yeah, so I can say Mungu aendelee kukubariki, continue soaring high, continue encouraging those people, giving hope to the hopeless, and I'm sure you're just a lifesaver of generations. So keep it dope, keep it up.
Aya.
Asante.